So I heard Sony are about to change the game with these new headphones, the WH-1000Xm3, and I'm up in central London now testing them out. I actually went on the underground as well, so testing out the noise cancelling. Is it the best in the game right now? Better than the Bose? We're about to find out. So welcome back to WhatGear Reviews, the UK's underdog tech YouTube channel. And if you're finding me for the first time, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you don't miss more content like this in the future. So the first thing I like about the design is that low profile and stealthy look. It's real ninja style. And I really love that gold accent that they've added now to the Sony logo and to where the external mics are. I've said in the past how I liked the older versions of these headphones because they didn't have too much branding, but I must admit this just gives it a nice little classy look. And the backs of the ear cups have also changed. So if you look at the M2 version, it kind of had this faux leather feel, and now Sony have gone for a much smoother texture, and they did this to improve the touch controls, which I'll talk about later. On the inside of the ear cups, Sony have actually made them a lot bigger now, so they actually fit around your ears a lot more comfortably, and this also enhances the noise cancelling because it kind of encloses your ears from the outer world a bit better. Now, I didn't think the WH-1000Xm2s could get any more comfortable, but they have, because Sony have now added more padding onto that headband. So let's talk about comfort now. They've added more padding, they've changed the ear cups. Even when it's resting around your neck like this, it's super comfortable. When you put it on, it's so lightweight. I can't hear anything right now, by the way. It's so lightweight, so comfortable. Really, there's very few headphones out there that are this comfortable. Maybe the Bose. I also like the AKG N60s, which I know some of you guys have watched my video on. Sony have really got it right now here with the comfort. And if you look at the buttons on the M2, they're in a good place, but they're not that clear. And if you look at the buttons now on the M3, much easier to find, and it's much more clearly marked than before. So that's a good design improvement. And this is an important upgrade, USB-C. So that basically means faster charging. USB-B was much more likely to break as well, and it means one less extra cable to carry if your phone is a USB-C. And let's be honest about this, USB-C is the future and it is the standard these days. So the hinges were a touchy subject for Sony because in previous models, people had complained that these things were snapping. And if we look at the hinges now on the newer one, it looks like they've done some work there to improve the strength. So check this out, guys, from the good old days, something we call a headphone jack. Now, Sony have added a headphone jack onto this version of the 1000X, and it's a good thing, even though Sony Xperia phones, well, the newer ones, the flagships, don't have headphone jacks anymore. But there's a good reason for it to be here, because if you're using it for video editing or with an iPod or something like that, you're going to need a headphone jack. And also, one thing to bear in mind, I did use these while using Bluetooth watching YouTube. There is very little lag there, but maybe in certain scenarios you might experience some lag between what you're watching and what you're hearing over Bluetooth. So in those cases, especially for gaming, you probably want to use the old school headphone jack. So when it comes to usability, it doesn't get much easier than NFC. Literally, you just touch your phone on the back of the device and it will pair instantly. And what I found out when I was messing around with this is if you touch the same device again on the NFC, it'll actually disconnect. And if you touch another device with NFC, it'll actually disconnect the old one and reconnect the new one. So that's pretty cool. NFC one-touch connectivity, making it super easy for you to pair your device. And Bluetooth is really easy as well. When you open Sony's headphone app, it actually gives you the option to choose between NFC or Bluetooth. If you pick Bluetooth, it'll turn on your Bluetooth settings for you. And once it's done once, you'll probably never need to do it again. So let's talk about the usability here when it comes to the touch controls. Now, I must admit, I really love this idea of not having so many buttons on the actual headset itself. Using just the finger to swipe is just so much easier than feeling around for the button, making sure you hit the right button. You can just literally swipe up and down, back and forwards, hold your finger on it for the Google Assistant, which works really well. The only real issue I had with the swiping features, once I had them on, to actually turn the volume up, I ended up using my thumb instead of my finger because it's just easier to use my thumb. Apart from that, just love the idea of these touch controls. Works really well, and when you put your hand over the ear cup as well, you can hear what's going on around you. Really useful. Big thumbs up for the touch controls on these. So when you're using this, of course, the comfort is really important, and these are super comfortable. I mentioned before the extra padding that they've added to the headband. They feel really lightweight when you're wearing them, just super comfy, and the ear cups as well. You just don't get that head crushing feeling that you do get with certain other headphones. So let me walk you through the app now. This is something really special here, the adaptive sound control. So basically the headphones can detect if you're in transit, if you're walking, or if you're on a plane using the barometer inside, and that's just awesome. You can toggle on and off ambient sound control, and you can change the level manually here as well, and you can focus it on voice only if you want. So you've got the personal optimizing feature here for noise cancelling, and the app actually recommends that if you change your hairstyle, if you wear a hat or glasses, you should actually run this because it will optimize it better for you. I'm not sure how effective that is. I'll have to test that out a bit further. But you can see there the atmospheric pressure optimizing, which is on at the moment. So that's what's going to detect if you're in the air or not. Then you've got the sound position control. So you can actually choose where the sound's coming from. This is directly at your ears. You can actually choose all these different locations, and it actually really impressed me when I was playing around with this. It's almost like a surround sound effect when you skip through them. Then you've got the surround mode. So this will actually emulate different sound styles, so like arena, club, outdoor stage, this kind of thing. Pretty cool. I just like the normal style, to be honest, so I leave it off most cases, but it's pretty cool. Depends on what you're listening to. If you're listening to live music, then you might want to play around with that a bit. Now this is really cool. You've got the equalizer here, and you've got presets already on there, but you can actually set a couple of custom presets. So if you really want to boost up the bass and lower everything else, you could do that if you really wanted to. And it's really cool that they're giving you this feature here. I do like the bass boost for most of the stuff I listen to, but not all of the stuff. That's a good feature, I do like that. Then within the app, you can actually play your songs as well. So it'll show what song's playing. Then you've got sound quality option here. So this will actually let you prioritize sound quality even if you don't have the strongest connection, but that might not be advisable. So I've got it on priority on stable connection only at the moment. Then DSEE-HX. Okay, so let me explain this very quickly. It's digital sound enhancement engine from Sony. It actually takes those MP3 files, which are actually quite heavily compressed, and actually tries to upscale them so you get a bit better sound quality. It does work well. And here, if you really want to, you can change the function of the button on the actual headphone for the noise cancelling. Don't recommend that. You can switch it to Google Assistant. Wouldn't bother. I feel it's much more useful to have the noise cancelling button on the actual headphones. And then of course you've got the auto power off. So if you take these off and leave them off, they will just turn themselves off, saving battery. And from time to time, you're going to get software updates for the headphones as well. Really cool. Sony have definitely done a really great job with this app. So when it comes to the quality of the sound, the first notable difference between this and the previous version is the added bass. It's improved a lot from the M2. So if you watch the WhatGear channel, you know I have the version 2 of these as well. And I must say, one of the biggest improvements in the noise cancelling area is the fact that now it actually blocks out a lot more voices than before. So I was walking down the street in central London. It was super noisy. And when I put these on, it was like I just stepped into a sound booth or something. I literally could not hear a thing. I was getting some funny looks out there though. Right, I'm here in central London. The headphones are full noise cancelling. I cannot hear a damn thing, but you guys are probably hearing a lot. So as I mentioned, the ear cups are a bit bigger, and that also helps the audio because it feels like you have a bit more soundstage there. Because of the bigger ear cup, you get a bit more of an airy feel than you did with the M2s. So during my time using these headphones, I actually have been using a Sony Xperia XZ2, which supports LDAC, which is Sony's high-res audio streaming codec. And I even went out of my way to get some FLAC audio as well to listen to it on, and it was really impressive. I actually did a couple of tests where I played the MP3 version through YouTube Music and then played the FLAC, and I'll tell you what, LDAC is going to blow your mind. But there's good news for you guys out there who don't have a Sony phone or an LDAC device already. The aptX HD from Qualcomm will actually allow you to play high-res audio files quite close, not as good as LDAC yet, but it works really well as well. So if you've got a higher res audio file and you've got a OnePlus 6 for example, you're still going to get that higher quality sound over Bluetooth. Really impressed with it. So the first awesome feature I'm going to talk about is that atmospheric pressure adjustment. So you might be thinking about a pair of headphones to travel with, not just on land. What about by air? So when you're in a plane cabin, you've got a slightly different atmosphere, and what these headphones do is actually read the atmosphere and adjust the sound specifically for that. So if you're looking for the best headphones to use on a plane, a long haul flight, these could very well be the best headphones to use on an aircraft. And it does this using a barometer built into the actual headphone itself. That is a really awesome feature. So I mentioned USB-C earlier, and I just want to emphasize how good this USB-C charging is. 10 minutes charge, giving you 5 hours playback. I want to repeat that because that's a really, really good feature. It's an awesome feature. 10 minutes charge, giving you 5 hours playback. For me, that's way more than a day's use. So imagine you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, you have some breakfast. 10 minutes later, you can pick up your headphones and you know they're good for the rest of the day, pretty much. Awesome feature, USB-C upgrade, awesome. And the last awesome feature I'm going to mention is the bass boost. It's just so awesome. The old versions were pretty good when it came to bass, but I tell you what, going from that to this and then back again, you really tell the difference in the level of bass. And if you like bass heavy music, trust me, these are really, really awesome. You can tone it right down. You're going to get a really nice acoustic sound as well. But that bass boost for me, when I'm listening to sort of hip hop type tunes, I tell you what, it's going to blow you away. I think these are going to be my headphones of choice from now on, unless something comes out of the woodwork and actually can beat these on noise cancelling, on sound quality, on design, then yeah, these are going to be my headphones. And I'm going to be looking out for other headphones that could potentially beat this. So if you guys have got any ideas, leave that in the comments below. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're finding me for the first time, make sure you Hulk smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one, so don't be late.